Hey guys, mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome to my YouTube channel with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, focusing again on the global version of the game. In this video, we're going to be talking about the next Awakening Batch, Part 6, featuring Wakka, Yuri, Ida, Setzer, Papalymo, and Layle. We know that this is the next batch of characters to be awakened because upon the making of this video, Square Enix recently did a community mobile stream for Opera Omnia, and they announced that these were the 6 characters that are going to be getting their awakenings next very soon within the global version of the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about these awakenings. Now, if you are a brand new player or not familiar with what awakenings are, essentially it's when a character gets their level cap increased to 60 because normally it's at 50. This also means that their stats are increased, they get new passives, they get more CP, and they get ability extensions, which means that their abilities 1 and 2 perform much better. Now, we will be having tier 4 high shards back as available rewards in the form of heretic quests, and these are the particular materials that you need to unlock the crystal passives 51 through 60 for these specific characters. And again, wave 6, as we mentioned, features Wakka, Yuri, Ida, Setzer, Papalymo, and Layle. Now, something that I do also want to go over is if you're looking for an exact number of what you need to fully get a character from 51 through 60 or from 1 through 60, I have the numbers right there as far as the total amount of resources. So hopefully this information right here helps you guys out in exactly what you need. That way, if you farm ahead of time, you know whether or not you're already ready to awaken a specific character from this list. So we're going to start off with our first one, which is going to be our Dark Crystal user getting his awakening at 60, which is Setzer. So at 54, he's going to be getting buff attack and boost up, which is going to be giving him an aura that increases his attack by 60% and his max brave by 30% as long as he is buffed. And that is quite powerful because it's also going to be increasing his offensive output. Now at 55, he's going to be getting Freeze Joker Extend, improving his first ability, Freeze Joker. This gives him an additional skill usage. It deals now an overall 150% brave damage potency. If you use this on a single target, it's going to be at 240%. And now it provides Brave Battery to the party based on 50% of Setzer's max Brave. So that's pretty powerful now because now it's dealing damage and it's also giving Brave to the party. It does deal AoE HP damage on multiple targets. However, keep in mind, this is divided, so it's not splashed, it's not 100%, it is divided, but still, what makes up for it is that Brave Battery. So now he has kind of an ability to function as like an offensive support, which is pretty cool. So his next crystal passive he's going to be getting is at 58, which is called Buff Attack and Speed All. So this is going to be providing an aura to the entire party with a 20% attack increase and a small speed increase when Setzer is buffed. So this aura from this passive is provided to the entire party, which is pretty amazing. And then finally at 60, he gets Red Card Extend. It gives him an additional usage to this ability. It now has a brave damage potency of 378%, and then HP damage is dealt for every 3 brave hits that this ability deals. So Red Card originally deals 9 brave hits, but now with this extension, for every 3 of those 9 hits, he deals HP damage. So that's 3 HP attacks that Setzer is dealing. And it also extends the 20% max brave up buff that he gives to himself for 6 turns, and also now grants him a 20% attack up to himself for 6 turns. It also does change his brave attack to Brave Attack Plus, which is a brave attack that has a 150% damage potency. So what is going to be my verdict on Setzer? So Awakening Setzer will serve as one of the greatest investments currently in the global version that players can do prior to receiving some of the latter, much harder content in the game. And from experience, with a combination of Brave Battery, a clutch debuff that's unique only to him coming in the form of that freeze debuff where essentially enemies inflicted with that cannot gain Brave for a certain amount of time, and also an aura to the party with his 58 passive, and also a delay with his red card, Setzer has just so much utility up on top of being, you know, a high damaging unit. So he's going to be a very worth it unit to awaken. And to top it off, this character doesn't even have an EX weapon yet. So kind of like Kate said, that's a little scary to know that a character that's getting an awakening this powerful doesn't even have an EX weapon yet available to us in global. And then the top priority artifact passives that you you want to farm are attack plus 108, max brave plus 330, and red card power up 2-star. And the reason why I mentioned red card power up 2-star is because since that is his multi-hitting brave attack, you definitely want those brave hits to be dealing more damage. All right, the next character we're going to talk about is Wakka, our blue crystal user that's getting an awakening in this batch. So at 54, he's going to be getting buff attack up, which gives him a 20% attack increase aura as long as he's buffed. At 55, he gets dark attack extend. That blind debuff that he inflicts is now extended by 1 turn. HP damage is also dealt after he uses this ability. It does have a minor increase to the brave damage potency to 80%. It does change his brave attack to brave attack plus, which is essentially a brave attack that deals 150% brave damage potency. So while the brave damage is not that high, what I really like about this is the blind debuff is extended. So rather than it being just like at 1 turn, now it's going to be even longer. So it gives you a little bit more clutch with this ability. The next crystal passive he's going to be getting with this awakening is 58. It's called Playing Coach. This is pretty cool. I like the name of this because, you know, Wakka Blitzball, he is a coach. So this is going to be an aura that is provided to the entire party, increasing their attack, defense, initial brave, max brave, and speed by 20% as long as Wakka is buffed. That's pretty amazing that this is provided to the party. One of the best crystal passives that I've seen on a unit getting on their awakening. Awesome that Wakka's getting this. And then at 60, he gets Brave Reels Extend, so he gets an additional skill usage with this. He also now provides both Brave Heals with this ability to the entire party, and that first Brave Heal, which is based on his attack, is now based on 120% of his attack, which is pretty good. And he also deals HP damage after he uses his ability. So my overall thoughts on Wakka's awakening is it not only improved his blind debuff, but now he is a true coach because he supplies the party with a brave battery, also with an amazing aura coming from his 58 passive. So he's definitely another noteworthy unit to awaken that will support your party well. As far as top priority artifact passives, attack plus 108, max brave plus 330, and great daring brave gain 2-star. The next character we're going to talk about is going to be our red crystal user in this batch, Papalymo. So at 54, Papalymo with his awakening is going to be getting buff base and speed up, which gives him a 40% initial brave increase and a small speed increase while he's buffed. So these are auras coming from his 54 passive, which is pretty good. At 55, he's going to get Astral Fire Extend. So this gives him an additional usage with Astral Fire. The brave hits that he deals with this is now increased to 2 hits with a increase overall 280% brave damage potency, and then that Astral Fire unique buff, or essentially it's also considered a stance, it gets a potency increase. So now when he has Astral Fire, he gets a 40% attack increase and a 30% max brave increase. And then this also changes his brave attack to brave attack plus, which is going to be of the fire element. It's a one-hit fire magic brave attack with a 150% brave damage potency. And then his HP attack has changed to HP attack plus, which is a one-hit fire magic brave plus HP attack. It has a 50% brave damage potency, but the fact that it deals HP attack right afterwards more than makes up for it. And then at 58, he's going to be getting buff attack and boost up, which is going to be giving him a 40% attack increase and an 80% max brave increase while buffed, which is an amazing aura considering that he's already a high damage dealing unit. At 60, he finally gets Umbral Ice Extend. It's going to be increasing Umbral Ice's brave hits to 2. It's going to be increasing its overall brave damage potency to 180%. The Umbral Ice unique buff, or the stance, is going to be increased in potency, so it now provides him a 60% initial brave increase and a brave regen based on 80% of his initial brave. And if you use Umbral Ice and prior to that you already have the Astral Fire unique buff active, he's also going to be granting himself a 20% magic attack up for 8 turns. So now he has a little bit more offense with Umbral Ice. And then with his brave attack, it changes to brave attack plus, which is going to be of the ice element. It's a one-hit ice magic brave attack with a low action delay with a 100 brave damage potency. And then his HP attack plus is going to be healing his brave by 70% of his own attack before he deals HP damage. So my verdict on Papalymo's awakening is this is another superb awakening. So back during the level 50 era, if you guys remember, Papalymo was an amazing magic damage dealing unit, both with his fire and ice elements. Now with his level 60 Awakening coming back to Global, he's coming back as that strong option as a magic damage unit, and he's now equipped with better abilities, plus very strong auras coming from his 54 and especially his 58 passive. And top priority passives, if you decide to awaken and build this character further, is going to be coming from Attack plus 108, Astral Fire power up 2-star, and Umbral Ice power up 2-star. The next character we're going to be talking about is Ida. She is going to be our green character that's going to be getting awakened. So at 54, she gets buff boost. She gets a 20% max brave increase in the form of an aura as long as she's buffed. At 55, she gets snap punch extend. So it increases the brave damage potency of this ability now overall to 150%. It also now grants her 60% attack up and medium speed up to herself for 5 turns. It also has a 100% chance to deal critical damage to the target as long as she's using this on a target that's not targeting her. And then her brave attack is changed to brave attack plus, which is essentially a brave attack that has a 150% brave damage potency. And then at 58, she gets buff attack and boost up, so her attack and max brave is going to be increased by 40% as long as she's buffed, and again this is in the form of an aura. And then at 60, she gets touch of death extend, which increases the brave hits of this ability to 2 hits. It also increases the overall brave damage potency to 240%. The poison debuff potency is going to be increased, so now the poison is based on 40% of initial brave. This ability now also inflicts sap for 6 turns, and there is an HP damage that's dealt with this ability as long as her brave is at 80% or greater than her max brave. So it triggers that as long as you have that amount. And then her HP attack is changed to HP attack plus, which heals her own brave based on 70% of her attack before she actually deals HP damage. So my verdict on Ida's awakening is, so essentially Ida, she's kind of like the poor man's Thancred within Dissidia Opera Omnia. The reason why I say this is because, Thancred works off of dealing more damage with poison and poisoning, and Ida poisons. However, with the coming of her awakening to Global, she does get slightly better damage, and not only does she get a better poison, but now she can inflict sap, and sap kind of functions like poison, but it's a separate debuff. So you essentially have both of those active. So it's draining it's depleting essentially the target's brave twice per turn. So that's pretty powerful. And while with her awakening, she's still not able to really compete with other higher tiered units such as Kate Sith or like Squall or Beatrix. I feel like her coming awakening will give us an underrated unit that can perform pretty well as long as you have the right team setup. So maybe you would probably want to run her, maybe let's say run her with Thancred first of all, because Thancred benefits from the poison, and then probably run her with a Brave Battery. I could see probably a really fun setup with that. And some top priority passives that you want to use if you decide to build her up is Attack plus 108, Touch of Death power up 2-star, and Max Brave plus 330. The next character getting his awakening is going to be our white crystal user, Yuri. So Yuri gets at 54 Chelinka's Prayer speed up. He gets a medium speed increase when he has that Chelinka's Prayer unique buff active. At 55, he gets power of the crystal extend. So now the brave hits that this ability deals is AoE, and the second hit deals 60% additional brave damage if it's being used on a single target. And this ability now has brave overflow up to 150% of max brave, and the AoE HP damage that it deals is now divided amongst multiple targets. So it's still not splash or 100%, but at least it's divided, so now he has that option. At 58, he's going to be getting Chelinka attack up. He gets a 40% attack increase in the form of an aura as long as he has Chelinka's Prayer unique buff active. And then at 60, he has Relic Crystal extend. It's going to be giving him a brave hits increase to 2 hits on this ability. It has a 400% brave damage potency, which is pretty high. And then the buffs that it grants is extended by 2 turns. And then HP damage is triggered or dealt when his brave is 80% or greater than max brave. So my overall thoughts on Yuri's awakening is, so amongst this batch, he is the dark horse. So he's probably the one that a lot of people are going to skip over. But the reason why he's the dark horse is because he gets some nice auras from his 54 and 58 passives. And the turnoff to this character is that you need to have that unique buff active, or else if you use his abilities, he essentially pulls a Dark Knight Cecil, except the HP drain on his abilities is at a much higher percentage. So he's like a super glass cannon. However, he has overflow now, and he also has a very high damage modifier of 400% on his ability too. So that almost makes up for that detriment of depleting his HP. So what you want to do with this unit is, if you decide to awaken him, pair him up with a strong healer, and he's going to be dishing out some pretty large amounts of damage. So a definite dark horse in this awakening batch. The top priority passives you want to give him is Twins Bonds up 2-star, Power of the Crystal power up 2-star, and Relic Crystal power up 2-star. And the final character we're going to talk about, oh boy, everybody was waiting for this. I thought this character was going to get his awakening during the Kain Lost chapters, but hey, we're getting it now with this awakening batch 6. So Layle at 54 is going to be getting smash attack and speed up, which is going to be giving him 40% attack increase and small speed increase after he initiates the chase, or otherwise known as the launch. At 55, he's going to be getting Field Down Extend. So now Field Down deals AoE Brave damage. It also inflicts speed down to targets for 5 turns. It also changes his Brave Attack to Brave Attack Plus. So after he deals Brave damage with this, he heals everybody's Brave, which is a Brave battery essentially, based on 70% of his attack. So now he has that, which is pretty amazing. And then at 58, he gets Debuff Boost, which gives him a 60% max Brave increase while an enemy is debuffed. And then at 60, he gets Energy Gain Extend, which increases energy gains Brave damage potency by 240%. And now, on top of everything else that this ability does, he also delays the enemy target by 1 turn. So my thoughts on this awakening is, the chase meta is finally coming to global. So Layle's awakening back during JP essentially marked the era of the chase meta, where it was all about using Layle with 2 Brave batteries and launching the enemy and dealing massive amounts of damage, because not only does chasing or launching the enemy give you free turns, which helps out your score, but it also adds a multiplier to the total amount of HP damage that you deal to the target. So pair him up with 2 Brave batteries, and Layle with his awakening is a Brave battery himself. Yeah, it's a lot of damage, and it's also scary because right now we don't have an EX weapon for him yet in global, so it's pretty scary how much damage you're going to be able to do with this character. And if you're looking to achieve some pretty high scores, yeah, you're going to want to stick Layle in your party, and I definitely highly recommend for you to build up this unit and awaken him, especially if you are a free-to-play or newer player. And if you guys are wondering how the chase meta works, or the launch meta, there is a link in the video description as well as the pinned comments of a video that I made a while back talking a little about in depth of the chase or launch and how that works. So definitely awaken this character, probably one of the top 2 characters alongside Setzer to awaken in batch 6. If you're going to be awakening and building up this character, you're going to want max Brave plus 330, Crystal Bearer up 2-star, and attack plus 108. Alright guys, well this is gonna conclude my video for Awakenings Batch 6, or Part 6 for Dissidia Opera Omnia Global. Again, I'm super excited for this Awakening batch. I'm glad that a majority of these characters are gonna be doing some crazy stuff upon their awakening, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to see all the creativeness that we can do with these characters now that they're gonna be having their awakening fairly soon in the global version of the game. Alright guys, this is 40 the Broadway saying stay tuned for my next video, and mahal everyone.